this is something that I did not learn about you two. These are both two scleroderma patients. You met Carol, or if you don't know Carol, this is Carol, and this is Kay. Now, the odd thing is, well, it's not odd, but prior to diagnosis, you happened to have a relationship that you knew each other. So please tell our viewers about this.
Okay.
So Carol and I taught together. We probably originally met, we were in different buildings in the same district, but eventually she got lucky enough to move into my building.
Indeed.
I love that.
So we taught special ed together, kind of in adjoining rooms at one point. Very, very close, very, and we really meshed educationally with our goals and what we like to do. And and then I eventually decided to go into regular science and started teaching 8th grade science, 7th and 8th grade science.
You ditched Carol?
No, she came.
I know, unbelievable.
But the good part is we teamed together. She brought her kids in with her for 1 hour of the day or two sometimes. And so we taught together, we team taught. And that was just like the best.
That was great.
It was fun.
That was great. Very fun.
We had fun. The kids learned.
Like I'd crack a joke and she would laugh and none of the students would get it. Kay would get it and vice versa.
That happens.
It really helped your adult wisdom, didn't it?
Right.
It was usually also at the end of the day when teachers
Little
tend to be,
slap-happy.
if you have ever taught, you know that the end of the day can be a bit much. Sometimes you're tired, and I swear they put all the kids in there at the end of the day that you were a little unsure of what you were going to do with. But anyway, with the two of us together in the classroom, we made it fun. We got through it. We did some good.
Yeah.
Well, then,
good stuff.
Who got diagnosed first out of you two?
So I got diagnosed.
You did?
I did, 2016, and just had to quit work. Had to make figuring out scleroderma my full-time job.
Right.
But happily worked for a district with a really good union, so I kept my insurance and
Nice.
whatnot. So that made a difference. And then one day I got a call from my dear friend Kay. You will not believe this, Carol, but I have just been diagnosed with scleroderma.
And at the time I said, it was funny, I told the doctor, originally was diagnosed in the Toledo area, and the rheumatologist said, well, you have, and he was calling it sign scleroderma, which turns out isn't quite true, but he said, you have sign scleroderma? And I said, no.
No, I don't.
I don't have sign scleroderma. I know scleroderma. My friend has scleroderma. I know what it looks like. This is not scleroderma. I said, I know what that looks like. Okay, so I learned a lot. and it is one of the things about scleroderma that's important, that it doesn't look the same for everybody. And we probably have about as opposite of the scleroderma
Symptoms.
stuff as you can have. But that is the way it is.
Has anyone asked you to, there's been some studies and stuff on, obviously we know there could be environmental factors, there could be, you're not like stepsisters that we don't know about, right? All right. Well,
I'm not sure we share any DNA.
Okay, no DNA.
No,
so could there have been anything environmental, do you think?
I have no idea. Yeah. I mean, teaching is a stressful job, I think. I mean, if you're doing it right or trying to do it right.
So maybe the stress.
That's all I can think. I don't know.
Yeah, that percentages is kind of weird. And I don't know what it did. I had originally, the science teacher, done research. I had cancer first. Okay, so I started, when she got scleroderma, I actually ended up with breast cancer. And
Crazy.
The breast cancer. And at the time, people were saying, it must be that building because, there's other people who had cancer in the building. And so I looked at it from a cancer standpoint. And I ran the statistics on it, my own little world. And honestly, the statistics showed no different than the world in general. Okay, so the percentage of breast cancer in general is X amount. That's about what it was for the building.
Okay.
So you can't really blame it on anything in the building.
Right.
I do. The scleroderma thing is definitely weird, and I can't quite. We don't know.
Well, in
there's
your
so much
case-
research we need to do.
Yeah, there is. For sure, we know that about all
research.
of
We need to research these things.
these. You had your stressful, like, one of the things with all autoimmune disease patients that I find in common is that we've all had something, well, usually there's been a stressful situation or a, like even say a death of somebody in our life, something that kind of brought maybe your symptoms out. Yours sounds like maybe breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
What was yours? That was the question I was going to ask you.
I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
for sure, obviously, but I was married to a wonderful person who became someone different and needed to divorce that person. And 2 years later, after divorcing him, he was diagnosed with early onset dementia and died within a year and a half. And 10 years later, I got scleroderma.
Interesting.
So there were a few
Sure.
little rocky times.
Little things, yeah, that you never know.
in
Okay.
the midst of that.
All right.
So
Well, you two weirdos that we love. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Weirdos activate.